I've talked before about Augustine's beliefs about children and sin nature, Jonathan Edwards as well, and Luther is another interesting figure to visit here. And for further reading on this, go find Jane Stroll's essay on the child in Luther's theology. Stroll outlines really well some of the ways that Luther's radical beliefs about grace and freedom of the Christian sometimes ran up against the realities of working with human beings and children. She writes that on the one hand, while Luther believed that the gospel wasn't a carrot and a stick, it was just a carrot, the realities of trying to catechize children, for example, or young adults, led him to sort of say some pretty harsh things. She writes, Luther thrashed his audience with scorn and harsh threats. As for those who refused to study the catechism, he says they should be reviled for denying Christ, barred from participation in any Christian privileges, and turned over to the devil. Moreover, parents and employers should refuse to provide them with food and drink and should threaten them with the possibility of banishment by the prince. And so even though Luther held some beliefs similar to Augustine's about how children are not born capable of choosing sin in the same way that adults are, they were still infected by sin. He believed that children under the age of 7 really weren't capable of independently forming their own original thoughts. And he believed that at the ages of 7 and 14, young people underwent pretty significant changes that led to increasing accountability and awareness. And so even though Luther does speak highly of children and their capacity to develop spiritual lives, those are accompanied by really, really harsh beliefs about what ought to happen to people for whom the sort of process of indoctrination throughout childhood does not work.